Okay? I need you to hear this right now. Because today, May 23rd, 2026, a story just broke that affects nearly 500,000 Americans who are collecting Social Security, and most of them have absolutely no idea it is coming. Starting July 1st, 2026, that is 39 days from today, the Trump administration is going to start cutting Social Security checks. Not by a little, by up to 15%. Every single month. Automatically. No warning. No phone call. The money just disappears from your deposit. And the reason? Student loans. I know what you were thinking. Student loans and Social Security? What do those two things have to do with each other? They have everything to do with each other. And today I'm going to show you exactly how this works, who is on the list, how much money we are talking about, and, most importantly, the two completely legal ways you can stop it before July 1st. Because once it starts, stopping it is a lot harder than preventing it. Let me give you the background because this did not happen overnight. When COVID hit in March 2020, the federal government did something it had never done before. It paused all federal student loan collections. No payments required. No interest accruing. No garnishments. Everything frozen. That pause lasted for years. Through the rest of the Trump first term. Through the entire Biden administration. On and off, extended again and again. During that entire time, millions of Americans who had defaulted on their federal student loans, meaning they had not made a payment in more than 270 days, were completely safe. Nothing was being taken. No wages. No tax refunds. No Social Security. Then the pause ended. And now the Trump administration has made it official. Beginning July 1st, 2026, the Treasury Offset Program, which is the federal government's tool for collecting overdue debts, is going to resume garnishing Social Security benefits from Americans who are delinquent on their federal student loans. The Department of Education announced this specifically. They called it the resumption of involuntary collections. And they tied it to a new repayment plan called the RAP plan, the Repayment Assistance Plan, that they say gives borrowers a way out. But here's the problem. Hundreds of thousands of people do not know the clock is ticking. And many of them do not even know they are in default. So who exactly is on this list? The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has the number. It is 452,000 people. 452,000 Americans who are currently receiving Social Security benefits, retired workers, people with disabilities, survivor beneficiaries, and who are behind on their federal student loans. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. How does someone collecting Social Security still have student loans? This is more common than most people realize. Some of these are people who borrowed for their own education decades ago and never fully paid them off. Some borrowed for their children's education through Parent Plus loans. And some are people who went back to school later in life, took on debt in their 50s or early 60s, and then retired before paying it off. Whatever the reason, the debt is real. And starting July 1st, the government is coming to collect it directly from your Social Security check. Here is exactly how the garnishment works, and the numbers are important. The Treasury Offset Program can take up to 15% of your monthly Social Security benefit. But there is a floor. You must be left with at least $750 per month after the garnishment. So let us run the real math. If your Social Security check is $2,000 per month, 15% of that is $300. So your check drops to $1,700 per month, every single month, until the loan is paid off or you get into a qualifying repayment plan. If your check is $1,200 per month, 15% would be $180. But wait, $1,200 minus $180 is $1,020. That is above the $750 floor, so you would lose the full $180 every month. But if your check is only $900 per month, 15% would be $135. But $900 minus $135 is $765. That is above $750. So you still lose $135 per month. And if your check is $800 per month, 15% is $120. But $800 minus $120 is $680. That is below the $750 floor. So the garnishment gets reduced. You would only lose $50, bringing you down to exactly $750. The bottom line is this. If you are collecting $1,000 $1,500, or $2,000 per month from Social Security, and you are behind on a federal student loan, you are likely to lose between $150 and $300 every single month starting in 39 days. For someone living on a fixed income, that is not a minor inconvenience. That is the difference between paying your electric bill and not paying it, between buying groceries and going without. Now here's the part that I promised you, and this is the reason I made this video today specifically. There are two completely legal ways to stop this before July 1st, but you have to act now. Because once the garnishment starts, getting it stopped is a much longer and harder process. Legal way number one, loan rehabilitation. If your federal student loan is in default, you can apply to rehabilitate it. Rehabilitation means you agree to make a series of on-time monthly payments, typically 9 payments over 10 months, at an affordable amount based on your income. Once you complete rehabilitation, your loan is taken out of default status and the garnishment stops. Here is the key. You need to contact your loan servicer or the Department of Education immediately. Go to studentaid.gov. Find your loan information. Call the Default Resolution Group at 1-800-6213-115. Tell them you want to start the rehabilitation process before July 1st. If you start now, today, you may have enough time to get the process moving before the garnishments begin. But every day you wait makes it harder. Legal way number 2, loan consolidation into the new RAP plan. The Trump administration's new repayment assistance plan, the RAP plan, is being positioned as the solution for people who cannot afford traditional repayment. Under the RAP plan, your monthly payment is calculated as a percentage of your income. If your income is low enough, and for many Social Security recipients it will be, your required payment could be very small. In some cases, as low as a few dollars per month. Here is the critical deadline. If you consolidate your federal student loans on or after July 1st, 2026, you permanently lose access to all existing repayment plans. You will only have access to the RAP plan going forward. That may or may not work in your favor, but the choice disappears after July 1st. For Parent Plus loan borrowers specifically, this is especially urgent. If you have a Parent Plus loan and you consolidate on or after July 1st, you will not even have access to the RAP plan. You will only have the tiered standard repayment option. The window to consolidate and preserve your options is closing fast. The message is simple. If you have any federal student loan debt and you are collecting Social Security, just go to studentaid.gov today. Check your loan status. Find out if you are in default. And get into a qualifying plan before July 1st. I also want to address something that is causing real confusion right now. Some people have heard that the Trump administration paused garnishments before. And that is true. They paused it in 2025. They paused it again in January 2026. So some people are assuming they will pause it again. Do not count on that. The Department of Education has been very clear. The July 1st date is tied to the launch of the new RAP repayment plan. The whole argument for the pause was that borrowers needed time to understand their new options. Those options are now available starting July 1st. That is why the pause ends on July 1st. The Department of Education's own statement said, and I am paraphrasing here, it is not a matter of if but when garnishment resumes for delinquent borrowers. Counting on another pause is a dangerous gamble with your monthly income. Now, I want to talk about something even bigger, because this garnishment story connects to a larger trend that every Social Security recipient needs to understand. Your Social Security check is not untouchable. It never has been. The federal government has always had the legal authority to offset Social Security benefits for certain debts. Overpayments from SSA itself. Back taxes owed to the IRS. And now, defaulted federal student loans. In fact, the Social Security Administration has been dealing with its own separate overpayment crisis. The agency sent out overpayment notices to hundreds of thousands of beneficiaries, telling them they owed money back. Some of those notices were for amounts going back years, and the SSA was initially trying to claw back 100% of monthly benefits until public pressure forced a policy change. The point is, your check can be reduced for multiple reasons. Knowing your rights, knowing what you owe, and staying on top of your accounts is not optional anymore. It is essential. Go to ssa.gov and log into your My Social Security account. Check your benefit amount and make sure it is what you expect. If it has already been reduced and you do not know why, call the SSA directly at 1-800-7721-213 and ask. And go to studentaid.gov and check your federal student loan status. If you have loans, even old ones you forgot about, find out if they are in default. Do not assume they went away. They did not. Let me bring everything together. Today, May 23rd, 2026, the Trump administration has confirmed that starting July 1st, the Treasury offset program will begin garnishing Social Security benefits from the 452,000 Americans who are delinquent on their federal student loans. The government can take up to 15% of your monthly benefit as long as you are left with at least $750. For the average Social Security recipient, that means losing between $150 and $300 per month, starting in 39 days. There are two ways to stop it. Loan rehabilitation, call 1-800-623-115 today. Or consolidation into the RAP plan before July 1st. Go to studentaid.gov today. And if you have a Parent Plus loan, consolidate now, before July 1st, because after that date, your options change permanently. The clock is running. Do not wait. If this video helped you or someone you know, share it right now. Put it in front of every senior, every retiree, every person you know who is collecting Social Security, because 452,000 people are about to get hit with something they never saw coming. And the only thing standing between them and that garnishment is information. Hit the like button, subscribe, drop a comment below. Did you know the government could take your Social Security for student loans? Let me know. I will see you in the next one.